time today. It'd be great. Ciao, hi, hey, hola, amigos. It's your boy M.K.S here, back here with yet another video. Finally got round to the fourth and final part. Hopefully, I won't have any technical issues. Hopefully, I have as few technical issues as possible, preferably zero. I had a few technical issues with my Facebook when I was trying to look at videos on Facebook live videos or whatever that other people have made and things like that. So I was worried it's going to be one of those days or whatever where I couldn't upload any videos or whatever. But so far, touch wood, as they say, it's not been too bad. I just had technical issues in part 3 as far as I'm aware, especially on YouTube, and it seems there was a problem with my internet connection, but it didn't upload all the video. And I know my voice can be a bit quiet, and I think I was a bit nervous to admit some confessions. So at the end of the video, even though I put my own sound on, I listened back to the end of the video, and even though, because I couldn't be bothered to listen to myself for that long, so hoping other people will, but I wish I could get to the point. But yeah, I put it on 100% volume, but I still couldn't hear myself, so I hope it was as clear as possible, and I hope as much of the video as possible recorded. But anyway, as ever, I suppose one of the problems I have is that I like to have an end goal, or I love to have an end goal, and I struggle to do anything. I struggle to make or create or do anything if I don't feel there's an end product at the end of it. I guess even if that's having fun or whatever, maybe I should just try and create things and just have fun and hope they go somewhere. But yeah, when I make something, and then I think, what's the point of writing something or doing something if it gets taken away? But yeah, I guess I should just try and create what I can and hope something positive comes from it, I guess. But I'd love to know your thoughts on that, and hope it won't be too harsh. But yeah, I hope this will record as well as possible, preferably at least on Facebook, I'm sure, or YouTube, or preferably on both. And yeah, for this one, as I did before in the past, I hope in the recent past, I hope to talk about what I hope to achieve in the future for mixed race people. So here goes. These, as per usual, are pointers number 31 to 40. So yeah, here goes. So number 31, I dream that we'll unite together and support each other and encourage and uplift each other, advise each other and whatnot as much as possible, and achieve as much as possible, support each other's plans and projects, ventures and adventures and that kind of thing, including I was talking about like supporting each other in the music and movie industries, modelling, business, banking, and really all sorts of different industries. I was thinking of the ones that begin with M, as it's a Monday, but I was thinking for March and May I could, and also August, my birth month, I could think of mixed race empowerment on other days other than Monday. It could be mixed race Mondays, mixed race empowerment Mondays. But yeah, I guess it could be on different days as well. Tomorrow, or technically today, I hope to focus, all being well, when I wake up, all being well, on Italian soccer or football, as it's Italy's Unification Day. And also, I'm hoping Italy qualifies for the World Cup and that kind of thing, and hopefully goes on to win it even, though we do have to go through a playoff, so we've not done so well so far. But yeah, I hope we don't fail a third time in a row. But also, I'm thinking like St. Patrick's Day and like Irish empowerment, like Irish entrepreneurs and things like that. So I'd love to cover those, so that as well. So I sort of have a bit of a dilemma. I'm trying to take too much on, but yeah, I'd love to support each other's projects and like help each other to get rich and show what we can do. But there's something I want to say on that. So moving on to point number 32, as I hope the audio is clear enough, and I hope the video records as well as possible, as usual, as I normally hope for. In other words, and very much I thought, I'd love for us to guide and teach each other, train each other, teach each other, and pass on information and knowledge, what we know, to each other, and that kind of thing. And I talked about like how I'd love for us to get rich, I suppose, and be hopefully proud but not arrogant. Have pride without arrogance. Hopefully, be fairly down to earth, but sort of have I'd love for, and I wish to God we had a reason or reasons to be proud of ourselves and each other. But yeah, whilst we can be proud of each other's achievements, hopefully not in an arrogant way. Like I suppose the biblical teaching is like pride comes before a fall. I'm sure most people have heard of that saying, but I think it'd probably be better if it was like arrogance comes before a fall. But it might not have quite the ring to it, but I think like having pride and confidence in yourself, but not in an arrogant way or boastful way or whatever. But yeah, I'd love for us to get rich, but really just so we can be confident. But then I'd love for us to give our money away. So actually to get rich, to actually make the world a better place. Like I talked about, like if they invested like $7 trillion into Anglo-Indians or mixed race people generally, even I don't know why they would do that, but hypothetically, if they did, or any amount of money, if we invested together and pooled our money and resources together, or whatever, I dream that we'd give our money away to the less fortunate, especially in developing nations, and stick to the bare necessities. Stick to the bare necessities. That's why beer can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life. Sorry. But yeah, to support like giving our money away and just like being able to get by with the bare minimum, which is a bit of a contradiction. I'm a walking contradiction, I guess, because like I love to hoard paperworks and like things to write on, but then again, I don't want to chop trees down or get in people's way. And in some ways, I'm a minimalist, but in some ways, I'm a hoarder or a maximist, if you like. I don't really care about having nice cars or a nice big house or whatever. I really kind of live in a big house, but I don't really care about living in a mansion or whatever, or material things that much really. My prized possession would be, other than my mugs, would be my notebooks or things like that, things I love to write on. And I love to have my own creative spaces where I can be productive and creative spaces personally, and similar for my fellow Mutts. But yeah, I love for us to give our money away. So like, once we know we can make it, I wonder if mixed race people would be able to give most of our money away and live on the bare necessities of life. So like just having enough to eat and drink and enough for shelter and whatnot. But yeah, I love for us to discuss ideas and for me to listen to other mixed race people. And on that note, number 33, I'd love for us to listen to each other. And none of these are like rules or laws. None of these are to be enforced. They're just ways of life in their own, my own personal opinion. I welcome other mixed race people making their own versions of like your dreams for mixed race people. Maybe your own nightmare version, if you like, and your own dream vision for like mixed race people or whatever. Inspired by these videos, hopefully, including this one, of course. But yeah, I'd love for us to support libertarianism. And there's a confession I want to say on point number 40, which I tried to say in point number 30. I sort of did say it, but I don't know if I guess because I was a bit nervous. I don't know if I can say it without being too nervous, or part of me thinking I shouldn't really say that. I should just write it in my notes. But if I was honest, like a confessional thing. Number 34, I dream that we'll make peace with the world. We'll help the world to make peace. We'll be diplomats, which I talked about before. I'd love for us to be diplomats and help like former colonies and to make the world more free, peaceful, and that kind of thing. I'd say I love to support libertarianism. I think of like freedom from force, and so it reminds me of like 34, or 34 reminds the number 34 reminds me of like freedom from force as well. Yeah, I'd love for us to be pacifists, conscientious objectors, and basically non-violent people. I'd love for us to be the most peaceful people in the world, obviously, up to that point. Not to join militaries, gangs, terrorism, and anything that's violent. I know I talked before about not changing our natural body, not getting piercings, tattoos, or anything like that, not changing our gender or bleaching or changing our skin artificially or whatever, and that kind of thing. Although I kind of appreciate, in a way, that piercings or especially tattoos are kind of arty, but at the same time, I'm not a big fan of changing our natural body the way God made us. Although I do disagree with and even violate some of those rules, I guess, perhaps. As some people say, everyone does. But anyway, number 35, as I say, I'd love to listen to other mixed race people's goals, as I love for as many mixed race people as possible to support my goals and try to encourage them to support my goals and dreams and whatnot. But I hope to return the favour. I talk about my 5 causes of benefiting for celtic libertarianism, former colonies, and also to tackle poverty and that kind of thing. And drinking tea. Number 36, I dream that we'd get 3 seconds. Sorry, I'd say that one. But yeah, I know I talked about. I suppose I was saying part 4. I normally think about talking about what I wish to achieve. I talk about like the future and like in 5 to 10 years, or in the future generally. Not necessarily that I always have a time frame for such, but I talk about like so like I talked in part 1 in point number 6 about how I'd love for Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians to support Italian football and even go to Italy and play football and practice and train and have fun together and compete against each other and against Italian teams, help them to practice. So whilst we're competing against them in a friendly way, we're hopefully helping them to practice and sharing our ideas and strategies. And I envisage like Anglo-Indians, Kristangs, Hafus and other Eurasian groups, if there are any others like Indos or whatnot, playing against each other and having skills and enjoying football and trying different strategies and tactics, and running little mini tournaments, including Italian teams as well. Whereas with Blasians and Afropeans, or people who are part black and part white, or Blasians, as I say, part black and part Asians, showing what they can do for football. So having a friendly competition with each other. I just think it'd be quite fitting. Like I think of like Blazing Brazilians or Blasian Brazilians, Blasians in Brazil, whatever. The Blazing Blasians in Brazil, whatever, or things like that. But yeah, as Brazil is quite diverse as well. But yeah, practicing against each other and all that kind of thing. I'd say Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians, I would love to benefit Italian football. And like AC Monza, Inter Milan and AC Milan, Roma and other Italian teams like Juventus could work with especially young mixed-race people and that kind of thing to play football, especially as Juventus, for instance, playing black and white and means youth. So we can help them to develop youth football in Italy, maybe helping them to practice, have more practicing opportunities and that kind of thing. Yeah, sharing ideas and that kind of thing. And AC Milan and Inter Milan play in black and red and black and blue respectively. Yeah, moving on to 37, I talked about how I'd love for us to support Celtic as well and share ideas to benefit Celtic and practice together, and to help them to be as ethical as possible, and also to fundraise and win trophies. So hopefully helping them both on and off the pitch. And also how we could work together to make life easier for each other. I have to mention, I'm not that religious, but as the saying goes, many hands, we could say many minds, make light work, hopefully. Number 38, I'd love for us to get free loving, for those who know what that means. Number 39, as I say, I'd love for us to be as united as possible. And number 39, and number 40, finally, where I hopefully go to sleep soon. I should push myself to sleep. I do struggle with insomnia. Yeah, I do wonder whether I should say this, but yeah, I did say it in part 3 and that kind of thing, but I thought maybe because I was a bit nervous, I'm sure my voice was very quiet, but maybe my guardian angel was looking after me and I wasn't listening, or I'm not listening well enough. But the reason why I actually came up to this room rather than record where I normally record is I didn't really want my mum to hear me, but when I share it with the world, or what I wish. But anyway, yeah, I'm not sure how much detail to go into, but I imagine like white, or what I call pure breeds, like white, pure breed, or pure white, black and Far Eastern chicks or women, whatever, screwing mixed race guys and like saying me hard and things like that, and like grabbing our mixed dicks and like putting them in their mouth and bum and feet and boobs and things like that for free, or even if they felt guilty and then paid us. But then we could just give that away in charity. But anyway, yeah, as usual, I gave away too much. But anyway, on that note, peace and love, and I'm out. Please let me know what you think, but please don't be too harsh.